Hello, my name is Ryan Pinchot, and I am an educator at the Hispanic Society Museum and Library in New York City. In collaboration with the Queen Sofía Spanish Institute and in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are offering a series of videos that shed light on the Hispanic Society's collection of maps and globes. In today's video, we are shifting our attention to the Andes mountain range and to early colonial administration of present-day Bolivia. I hope you'll enjoy. The Hispanic Society's map of the Imperial Villa of Potosí provides us with a unique opportunity to consider a pivotal moment in world history. At the time of the map's creation, somewhere between 1581 and 1620, Potosí was one of the principal engines of wealth creation in the Spanish Empire, with a population rivaling that of then contemporary metropolises such as London or Paris. From its cerro, or hill, indigenous Andean workers extracted nearly 60% of all the silver mined throughout the world during this time. The map of the Imperial Villa of Potosí tends to complicate and expand viewers' conceptions of the possible forms and functions of maps. Comprised of both upper and lower portions of a bifolium, this object served primarily as a document of colonial administration. In the top half, the only obviously map-like features are the cardinal directions indicated along the outer borders of what otherwise looks like a colored landscape drawing. The many carefully differentiated figures speak to a highly complex labor system, with indigenous draft laborers, or mitayos, climbing the mountainside, indigenous supervisors, or curacas, alongside them, Spanish mine operators on horseback, and voluntary wage workers, or mingas, working in the process of amalgamation, or chemical extraction of silver, seen in the foreground. The lower portion of the bifolium illustrates the planta, or footprint of the city, showing a grid system of streets, a town plaza adorned with a central fountain, various churches, and a hospital, dedicated in part to the treatment of injured miners. With the map serving as a visual aid, local elites hope to demonstrate that beyond its wild profitability, the colonial outpost at Potosí adequately advanced the crown's interests in the realms of order, religion, and justice. Between the city and the cerro, in this lower portion of the bifolium, one sees 8 churches that seem to lack any obvious constituency of nearby congregants. In truth, this area, then called the Rancheria, housed tens of thousands of Andean workers whose dwellings are not shown on the map. It is possible that the charting of these neighborhoods, which were characterized by flimsy and impermanent housing, would have undercut the effort by elite patrons to depict Potosí as an urban, cultured space that was essentially European in nature. It is also possible that the continued legal ambiguity concerning the use of forced labor in mining contributed to the decision to not illustrate these districts on the map. King Philip II had refused to formally approve the draft labor policy despite its implementation by multiple viceroys with an understanding of implicit royal consent. The Hispanic Society's map of Potosí is perhaps the most vivid visual representation of the city at its industrial height, during a time when it proved pivotal in shaping the history of both Spain and Latin America. Rich in enlightening details, the map of the Imperial Villa of Potosí demonstrates the power of objects to bring the past to life for museum visitors, students, and researchers alike. We hope that you've enjoyed learning about the Hispanic Society's map of the Imperial Villa of Potosí. To learn more about the Hispanic Society's collection, please visit us at hispanicsociety.org.